Daddy Don Garlits, the #1 man in drag racing of all time.
All right, so what are we doing here, Don?
We're going to start this engine. This is a 1952 Chrysler Hemi. He carried me back there, and it was a 1954 Chrysler New Yorker Hemi, 4-door sedan, been hit in the back, had 10,000 miles on it. He said, this is the engine that will really set you free.
We run into Kenny Wayne Shepherd, guitarist extraordinaire, and yes, he owns the General Lee and a few Dusters. He feels that he has a connection with Mopar.
Well, I wanted to show people that, you know, not all Mopars are beyond everybody's reach, you know. Dusters are still pretty affordable, and there's not a whole lot of people customizing them, and I think they're beautiful cars, man. But this is something, it's a customized car, but it's something that anybody could accomplish on their own, even in their garage. I don't know, that's a hard call, man. I don't know that I can choose between my cars and my guitars. Well, you know, I love all cars, right? I love cars that are sexy, that look good, and that are really fast. But I feel like I didn't necessarily choose Mopar. Mopar kind of chose me, you know. From an early age, I was just drawn towards the Mopars. It's the brand of car that I identify with. They're kind of like the underdog, you know. If you go back in the history of Mopar and you figure out, you know, how they were kind of always the smaller of the big three, but then they came out on top, always. I mean, they got banned from NASCAR. The Hemi got banned from NASCAR because they were beating people so badly, you know. And it's like, that's the kind of team I want to be a part of.
What is Gary Scelzi, the midget team owner, like? And most importantly, who's the man that runs Scelzi Enterprises?
I know where my limits are, and these guys don't waste the money. You know, Michael drives a car for free. Monty Facino's on the payroll.
What did you just say?
Michael drives the car for free. He doesn't get paid.
Michael Facino, right over here.
Michael Facino, my driver, drives for free. So if you're going to steal him, $5 a race, we'll probably take him from me.
Gary Scelzi, are you going to retire again?
The only time I ever said I was done, and I was done, was in the Top Fuel Drag Show when I hit John Smith, because John Smith was hurt and I wasn't. And the other crashes I'd walked away from them. But if it was just me, that's one thing. But I walked away. It was my car that blew up, and John Smith is the one that has the pins in his wrists and his arms and his legs, and went through all that trouble.
And you said in your head, I'm done with racing.
I said, no. I said I was done with the Top Fuel Dragster.
Who, Gary Scelzi, who is a better driver than you?
Nobody. This is 1980. What is this, 1988 now? That was what year?
Dude, 2006.
2008. Yeah, that was 2 years ago.
And that's all Boyer was doing was bagging on you about taking people out. Scelzi, take it easy on me.
We're tied.
The whole field out.
We're tied. Oh, now you're going to jump on his side? Hey, you know what? Hell, you guys. I'm going to own this joint. Okay?
Kane asked the question. Says,
who?
Why are all these straight lines?
Everyone wants to be the Casey Kane millionaire.
What's the worst thing that Kane has said to you as your boss?
Nothing.
If
anything, he doesn't say enough. If anything, he's too nice.
I don't yell hardly ever. Once in a while, I'm a pretty quiet person. I think you know that.
Oh, I do know that. So are you telling me one day you'll be up on the roof with a deer rifle taking it all out on somebody?
No, I'm not mad they're back together. I'm mad at the fact that a guy like Casey Kane's got to go around a stock car.
Thank you. Oh, that's okay. You and I could go off a whole hour conversation on that one.
If he had the opportunity, I've even asked him, he'd go run the Indy 500. I mean, that's the race he wants to win. But I'm saying the money is still there for that race, and the prestige.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big race. This is the biggest race.
When I was growing up and I first started racing, everybody wanted to go to Indy and run. Okay, now everybody wants to
including you, from what I understand.
No, I wasn't interested in Indy. But you know, all the boys now are wanting to come to Cup because that's where it's happening, that's where the money's at, that's where the prestige is. So a lot of the people that, you know, 10 or 15 years ago wouldn't look at Cup racing are starting to look at Cup racing.
The King, Richard Petty, huge legend in NASCAR, and obviously Don Garlits, huge legend in drag racing. But what does Don Garlits think of his contemporary? Can a legend have a hero?
If I had to pick a guy in the United States to represent America and what it stands for, the patriotism, the goodness of America, the godliness of America, I would put Richard Petty up there. Now that's what I think of Richard Petty. And it brings tears to my eyes, because we need more people like him.